All right, so this particular story, now that I'm kind of warmed up and it doesn't make me feel like I'm in a Hoover vacuum. This story is going to be about 66 and Nicollet. Anybody um anybody in from South Minneapolis will know about this area. Uh 66 and Nicollet is Richfield. Richfield used to be considered to be one of these places where, you know, we used to think folks had money. You know what I'm saying? And it was a considerable amount of black folks that used to stay over there. I'm gonna try to make it somewhat of a three-part story. You know what I'm saying? So uh we have to do the honors. You know this was coming. So you know we gotta do the honors because that's required. We gotta do the honors. And the reason why we gotta do that is because you know my pedigree. When you hear that song, you know what's coming. So if you look at 60, 66 and Nicollet now, it's nothing like how it used to be. Now, what I want to do is I want to show y'all. I'll close my email. This is 66 and Nicollet. Now, around the time when me and my homie used to kind of be hustling around here, I would say this is around um damn man, I at one point I didn't have no car, right? I remember I didn't have no car. So this is actually right here. I'll show y'all where I got into that accident. There was an accident that I was in. Now I don't remember seeing this. So they must have changed this up. But see, I don't recall none of this being over here like this. They done made the roundabout. There used to be an old country buffet right here. Like, I don't know what the hell this is, man. That's how long I ain't been around. I remember that Dairy Queen, I think, but right here, it used to be like a damn man. I hope Stack Go watches. I'm trying to remember. I'm like, what the hell? There used to be like an O'Reilly. You know what I'm saying? Now they got this little millions. That's why I've been out the mix too long. This is pathetic. This is terrible, man. But I remember this Walgreens because see, and that's probably why they put this roundabout so people can't get in accidents. Okay, I see. This is Nicollet right here. Okay, I'm tripping. I was about to say that O'Reilly should still be there. There should be a boost. Yeah, AutoZone. There's an AutoZone. Okay. I was about to say, like, yeah, there go to Dairy Queen. There's supposed to be a Radio Shack over here. Okay, that was a minute ago. All right. So look, this was, I don't remember there being a roundabout. I just don't recall there being a roundabout around that time. Because see, right here, I was going down this block when he opened. Okay, let's go into Minnehaha one-stop shop mode. So I was going. This was around 2009 when I had that. I had that that $2 Sabre that I was gonna throw that 350 in there, and I had the the Minnehaha one-stop shop with my homies. Now the China Garden is still there. I never ate there. I might have ate there once, maybe. I don't know, but. Man, what the hell? How do you get out of here? All right. So this lady came out of right here. I'm coming this way. You can't cross over like that. You ain't supposed to cross over like that. Like it'll tell you ain't supposed to cross over. She didn't want to go down and turn around or whatever the case may be. So I'm going down this way, and she's coming out and hits my old school. And that's when I told you, I think I kind of drove around somewhere around here, and I think I parked. And we used to hustle a lot around here too before I had a car or whatnot. So that's when the Richfield PD came, and that's when they found that weed in the car. You know what I'm saying? And it was a big old bag. It was a big ass bag, and they took it. They ain't charged me for the weed. They ain't charged me. I was probably, they didn't charge me for it. But, they just wrote up the report like, the lady hit me, and I got some money out the case and all that stuff too. But anyway, let's go down to 59th. Now, this is before I had a car. Let's go all the way down. There's supposed to be a Cub. Let's just keep going down. Okay, we're on 65th. All right, there's supposed to be like a Cub Foods around here. Man, I'm about to go. Man, when can next time I go to Minneapolis? I'm about to do a story. I'm about to do a real story time with y'all. I have not been down here for years. It's almost too long since I've been down. That pandemic messed us up, man, because you damn near forget. And I didn't really have a reason to come over here. I haven't been to Richfield in a minute. That's 35, I believe. That's right there. So Richfield is generally a decent area, I guess you could say, but things change. You know what I'm saying? And you can look at this. Looks old. Now look at that. That's the one that says the 180. I don't even know if they use the 180 no more. But this looked like this is like they took it when Google was just starting out or something. I don't know. But we gotta play it again. They're gonna give me a copyright. Let's start it over. Now, it seems like this building, there's something about this building right here. Now, when it says Minneapolis, this is when Minneapolis starts. Now, it's supposed to be Richfield, and it is Minneapolis, Okay, so I'm really gonna do my editing tonight. All right, so now here's when the story comes. Now, this used to be like a little spot folks used to come. Some folks would go to tailgate. Now, people know about this spot. There we go. Now we're going to get to the root of the story. Now, there's these little buildings. There's these little buildings, man, that's right behind this Cub. I haven't been at this Cub in a while, and I think you could take the highway right there too. But I haven't been there in a while. But I used to, this used to be somewhat of a stomping ground in a little bit. But I haven't been down there in a long time. So let me see. So the apartments are over here. Let me see if I can go down the block and come back up. I don't think you can. There's a Bobby's and Steve's here. All right, so let me see if I can go down here. There we go. Can you go in them? Can you go in the buildings? Yeah. All right, now look. Let me tell y'all something, man. I've been through these buildings a few times. I'm not gonna lie. I done had some times in these buildings. It might have been that building right there. It was a lot of people that I used to sell CDs and stuff to, and I just hop on the bus, and it's right behind the Cub. So let's go back. So, but I used to be over here, and it used to go down. And let me tell you, it used to be some bad little brawls used to be up in there sometimes. So my story starts with, it was this one chick from St. Louis. And she stayed in there. She had a bunch of kids. She stayed in there. And I had met her. I can't remember. I don't remember when I had met her, but I know at that time I didn't have a car. So I know that probably was around 2000. I know for sure it was before 2007. It might have been '02, for all I know. It for real. It might have been '02. And so what I started doing is, I think, but before I met the chick from St. Louis, and she was a real thick, kind of big bone, real thick, um, dark skin, and she stayed up in them buildings. But before I met her, that was my second time coming around. I met her, but before I met her, I met this little light skinned chick. Now I think she might have stayed with some people, whatever. So I didn't go inside of her building. Initially, I started kind of selling her CDs, or whatever. But this area right here, as you know, where there's gonna be women, there's gonna be knuckleheads. And I started kind of getting the little backdoor vibes and stuff. Every time I start kind of coming around, it'd be dudes just kind of hanging out on the porch or whatever and stuff like that, and I thought it was a little weird. So naturally, I'm a little nervous. I'm kind of out of bounds in my neighborhood. This isn't a neighborhood that I hang out with on the regular. So when you got folks on the porch, gets posted up, you know what I'm saying? And so maybe that might have kind of threw her off for a moment or whatever. But I'm trying to figure out why is there so many folks. I don't do that. Too many niggas all in front of the building kind of thing. That ain't my kind of thing. I don't really like that. So, I kind of stopped going over there or whatnot or whatever. But rewind that joint. So anyway, we get over there, we hanging out. I go inside her apartment. I'm kind of chilling and stuff like that. But I just had this I had a weird vibe, and I could kind of tell after a while, kind of made her uncomfortable because I was uncomfortable. But I got backdoor vibes. I got them heavy. And it got so uncomfortable to the point that I just didn't want to be there no more. And that's not the first time that happened to me. I remember that happened to me when I was still living in my mom's house, and there was this one chick that I was seeing from Gary, Indiana. Her name was Brandy, and it was off like Portland or something. Or Portland, or it wasn't Portland, it was Chicago. It was like maybe 5 blocks off Chicago, like right across the street from like a line of hospital or something. And they were staying in this building. I came over to visit her. And it was just a bunch of dudes up in there. I think it was her cousins or whatever like that. And I spoke to everybody when I walk in. I think I told this story before. I walk in. Hey, what's up, y'all? What's going on? How y'all doing? And nobody said anything. And I'm kind of like, but they just looking at me. And, I'm outnumbered. You got about 10, 15 niggas up in there. But they don't say anything. And I thought that was a little cowardly because it's like, okay, I'm just one person. So if you had some kind of issue with me or whatever like that, it's like y'all could, sometimes dudes will say something slick. They didn't say nothing at all. And I was just kind of like, oh, man. So I told her, man, I'm about ready to go. And when I left, I said something to y'all. And they were like, all right, man. Now they want to say something. They want to be all friendly and stuff like that. So, we ended up at Blockbuster, naturally. And we go to my house and stuff like that. And I think we took the bus to my house, took the 5 to the 2 or something like that, So that 5 to that 2 will get you there, I'm telling you. So now the second time I go out here, I meet the chick from St. Louis. Now I'm kicking it, I'm talking to her and stuff like that, and she just kind of digging me and stuff. And I'm trying to think if I could take a picture. Let me see. No, she didn't look like Sexy Red. No. I'm gonna see if I could get a picture. If I were to say, I'm gonna get a picture of y'all, a picture for y'all. And I'll show you how she looked. Hey man, it's the DP Chronicles, man. It's the Adventures of DP. So hold on. I gotta add something to it. I gotta add something ratchet to it. So that way. I gotta add something ratchet. I think I got one. Hold on. St. Louis, you know, they got some Stack Doe from St. Louis. You know. She looked kind of like, all right, there we go. Yeah, she looked like this. She looked like her. She kind of looked like her. A little bigger boned it though, you know what I'm saying? She was, but she had so many damn kids, and I said, and she was from St. Louis. She was breaking bread with me. She had that little thick country accent, so I used to make fun of her a lot of times. Stuff all in good fun. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that, you know, black folks, you know what I'm saying, we gonna crack a joke. We gonna crack a joke on each other. We gonna do a little bit of roasting. So anyway, I start going down there. I start going to, I'll say 59th and Nicollet. I don't know how it is over there now. Niggas probably think it's old block or some shit. I don't know. You be surprised. 66 and Nicollet boys or some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like they probably listen to some Dirk and some Von, and then all of a sudden they the 66 and Nicollet boys or something like that. So I would not know what's going on in that neighborhood right now. You know, probably the same old stuff or whatnot go. But Richfield now, we were talking about it. Somebody was saying that at work one time where they said, man, Burnsville is, they just had like a shooting at a Burnsville high school. They had some Somalians. They had an automatic weapon. That's a Fed charge. So you know where they're going. They might go to Big Sandy. Better do some push-ups. So Burnsville's changing. You know, you got a lot of them young Somali kids. They're not really trying to adopt Islam, the culture and whatnot. They listen to King Von and they want to adopt the negative side of foundationals. They don't want to, you know, some of them, you know, that's born here and stuff. So they doing a good majority of the crimes in Minneapolis. A lot of people don't want to say that, but shit. We live in a liberal state. They kind of let them do whatever. You know what I'm saying? They do. They're going to let them do whatever. It's not like they could deport them. So 66 in Nicollet, y'all. That's my story. 66 or 59th in Nicollet, or 50. It'd be 58, 59th in Nicollet. And I got a couple dollars out of those buildings and stuff like that. Now, beyond those buildings, if we go back out, I'm gonna kind of show y'all. What is this? Fandom. Okay. So this is gonna show y'all. This is gonna kind of give you guys an, you know, somebody made something in Fandom. Is a major street in Minneapolis. 66 is a cross street which intersects roughly at the level of Minneapolis St. Paul Airport. Now the airport is back that way, like y'all know. Hold on. So 66 in Nicollet. I'm just gonna give y'all kind of an idea. So that's over here. That's what 66 in Nicollet is. Nicollet runs all the way up here, right? That's how far Nicollet is. And you know, it's crazy because we spent, I'm about to do it again. I'm gonna get a copyright strike, but that's quite all right. So let me get this together, y'all. That's the airport. So when I was saying back that way or whatever, I was pointing. You just go this way to the right here. You see what I'm saying? And you're at the airport. Now, if you keep going all the way now, Tangletown. Now, where you see where it says Tangletown, this is where I was telling y'all. We used to always think folks got money. I used to always like going past this bridge, man. Tangletown, you got to have a couple dollars to stay over here. I ain't gonna lie. You stay at a couple dollars to stay over here in the Tangletown area. East Minnehaha Parkway. All of that, you're going to have a couple dollars. I'm going to prove it. Here you go. No, that's not what I wanted to see. Hold on, y'all. Shoot. All right, I got to zoom out. All right, so now I had a homie, but he stayed in the 90s. He stayed on 90th and Nicollet, which is way, way out the way. Now, since we're on Nicollet, since we're on 84th and Nicollet, this is 84th and Nicollet. Since we're going to get on that. All right, so let me go back out a little bit. There was a Cub. Was it Bloomington and Lindale? No. Hold on. We're going to keep our story going because I might have. Let me see if this is the one. I think it was Lindale. When I had my 93, yeah, it was. Hold on. Let's see. How do you get to the. This is Lindale Cub. We're going to get to it, y'all. Hold on. Because I got a story to tell y'all. What happened to the music? That's Steven. Shout out to him. He said, this looks good. Let's see what Steven's talking about. Yeah, this ain't no damn professional podcast. We're going to give y'all some game. This looks good. I'm hoping on this. 140 band. You damn right, Steve. Steve from Staten Island. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I moved around in Minneapolis and stuff, man. We had a good time, man. I ain't gonna lie. But I don't think this is the Cub Lindale that I went to. It might be. It's in the 80s. But now keep in mind, that's why I said it's going to be 3-1. I had a car during that time. Hold on, we got to break it to a little. Man, hold on. Do y'all understand what this is right here? McKinley Jones. The Thermo King. I'm glad we got into this. This is the Thermo King headquarters. A foundational Black American made this possible. Y'all see this? Remember I did the McKinley Jones Thermo King? There go a brother right there. It says Thermo Victor Varner, Slick Vic. I don't know who he is, but that brother look like he's doing some demo work. I should go and see what they got. Matter of fact, we gonna do that. Let's break off and look at Thermo King. McKinley Jones. That was a Black American freedman that made it possible for everyone that's listening to the sound of my voice and anyone possibly on the planet. We North America for sure. Because remember, he made it so you get refrigerated food. Remember that? There we go. Frederick McKinley Jones, co-founder. This brother made the blueprint. You see all this right here? You wouldn't have had none of this without this brother. Let's look at the careers. Let's look at the careers real quick, and then we'll get back to my story. Because we talking about money, right? Let me see what kind of careers they got. All right. Let's see what kind of careers they got. Graduate sales engineer. Okay, let's engineering and technology. I think we looked at this before. We'll get back to the story, y'all. We're at 25 minutes. I'm just saying. Let me see if they got something here. Oh, most of it's in Wisconsin. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, Thermo King. Thermo King is still strong. Thermo King is still strong, y'all. Right here on 90th in Bloomington. Now we're starting to get into Bloomington anyway. All right. So let's get back to Richfield. Actually, okay, that's 66. So I got to get out more, man. What the hell? But I could have sworn on 90 if there was a Cub Foods. But maybe it was on Lindale. Maybe it was on Lindale. Maybe I'm tripping, man. Maybe it was on Lindale. Let me see if I can find it. 90th and Nicollet Cub Foods. I'm trying to jog these memories, y'all, because that's 59th, 84th from Lindale. They say this is the Bloomington Lindale. But I remember it was this chick from Gary I used to talk to, and it wasn't long, but that was like in early 2010. And so I used to go out there and stuff like that. And I'm trying to figure out what happened to my music, man. I don't like that. Where's my music? Sound like my music is going away. Oh, man. You gotta have my music going. So look. I'm gonna find this shit. Was it 90th, 93rd? I'm trying to remember where I bought my Oldsmobile because I came with cash, and I went to a lot and I bought that 1998 Regency Olds. I had a homie that stayed in like 90th and Nicollet. He had a cool little crib. That was the one I told you try to backdoor me. You know what I'm saying? Try to say, send his baby mama from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what they was trying to do, But he stayed in 90th and Nicollet. But I'm trying to figure out. Let me see if I could. Man, hold on. I don't recall it being over here, bro. I do not. No, it wasn't over here. It wasn't in Bloomington. But Bloomington wasn't Richfield. Where's Nicollet? Portland? Maybe it wasn't that far. I could have sworn. Because see, now we're getting, that's Bloomington. So did she stay in Bloomington? I'm trying to get my story straight, y'all. Y'all gonna think I'm capping at that while there's 494. Man, I don't think it was in the 70s, man. I could have sworn it was like in the 90s. Because there was like another one of those, off of 59th that I was talking about. There was like another one that was like that. There were some apartment buildings, but they was a little cleaner. I'm sitting there looking for this stuff. And what's crazy about it is I wasn't even really using my email around that time. Let me try to get my email back, man. I gotta boil up some of these memories. How do I get my email back? I want my Yahoo email back. Bring out the dark side, right? Yahoo email. I haven't checked my Yahoo email for I don't know how long. I don't even know what the password is. Open Yahoo app. Use text. I mean, hell, I don't know. Prove you're not a robot. dpsreal@gmail.com. Verify using Google account. Just give me a text message. So it's gonna give me enter the 2 digits that complete this 5183. See, now it's gonna give me a code. Yeah, it's gonna give me a code, man. Okay, hold on. I ain't checked this email, man, in about 2 years probably. It's signing in. Uh-oh, we want to play that music over in a second. Sign in with your fingerprint. Not now. Oh my gosh. Whoa. It says I got 1,000 emails. We may have to let the music just rock out for a little bit. Yeah, it says somebody's tagged on Facebook. Like some of this stuff, like I say, yeah, I have not checked this in I don't know how long, so I got to delete half of these damn emails. So I got to delete damn near half of these. It's about 400 emails deleted. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Pretty much everything from 2023. I haven't been up in here. Damn, it's a lot of emails, man. 2022. Yeah, it's been 2 years since I've been in this email almost. I can just get rid of half of this stuff, almost everything. Now it's looking at 500 emails. Now I'm looking at stuff for 2022. I'm going to get back to the story, y'all. Let's delete that. Because then I can kind of, matter of fact, I'm going to pause it. That way y'all ain't got to hear. We're 33 minutes in. Let me turn this up a little bit. I was going through some Yahoo stuff, man. My Yahoo email. And I found all the Titans beats. Well, not all the Titans beats, but some of his beats. And some of the stuff that I was doing. And I ain't heard some of this stuff in years. Like some of the stuff I was working in the studio. Like, this is a beat that John, hold on. John Tell's brother, I paid for a long time ago. This was I'm gonna have to throw this on an old beat. This is an old beat. I don't even know if he still got this beat. He had a little Jamaican sounds, you know what I'm saying, like the little cymbals and stuff like that. And I made a song. This was around the time I think Young Chop was kind of doing his thing or something like that. Then look what else I found. I've been looking for this for years. I've been looking for this beat for 7 years. Bro took this. Now keep in mind, y'all, when I go back into my old story times, We turned up a little bit. This dude took the Cops beat and chopped it up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put that on the backdrop on some of that stuff. But this, when I was going to like 59th and Nicollet and stuff, we weren't making music like this. That came, I think that came a little later. Yeah, this beat probably came around. Let me see. When I was talking to bro, was like, talked to Titan a couple last week. We made this beat. Well, he made it, not me. I didn't, I didn't do shit. He made this beat. Probably around. Well, I was on the map looking for, you know what I'm saying? I was looking for that when I was going. That was around 2010 when I was starting to get a little more money then. This was way before I was starting making any more money. Like, I was much happier and I was poor. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like, this beat was probably made around, I think it was before 08. This probably was around 02, 03, maybe 04. Maybe 04. Probably like maybe like around that, because I remember when we started making beats at first, we were using an MPC. I bought an MPC from Earn. But even before we were making beats, like we were making beats with the Dr. Sample. You know what I'm saying? And then my homie got a beat master, or one of them like a rolling beat machine. I think he got like a settlement or something like that. He got a settlement from, it was like it's a settlement that took forever, because he used to tell me about that settlement. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna get the settlement, bro. I'm like, how long is the settlement supposed to? And he's like, man, yeah, it was from years ago. I said, like 15 years ago. Like, it was like something happened to him as a kid or some shit, and he got a settlement, and he bought the beat machine. Because I remember we had to go out to like St. Paul to get some of the stuff. Like, we bought a beat machine, then he bought an MP3 player, then my homie gave me like $150 for my first beat. You know what I'm saying? He just paid me. He didn't have to pay me, so he just gave me the money. I had an MPC. So I must have made the MPC around 05, not 05, maybe 05, 06, because I had my own apartment and I bought the MPC from Big Earn. That's what I really need to make a story time about. Big Earn gave me the MPC. I gave him some of the money, and then I paid him the rest, and he gave me an MPC. And a dupe too. I bought the dupe. I think I bought the dupe first. Or one of the, I can't remember what it was. I gotta make a Big Earn story time, man, because like with the little bit of business dealings we had dealt with, they was always solid. I always paid for him. You know what I'm saying? He always had some kind of thing that I needed, electronics. And I never had the money. You know, so Earn pretty much gave it to me. I gave him what I had, and then I came back and I paid him the rest. You know what I'm saying? I paid him the rest. So, you know, that was very important. But I bought that beat machine. Did I buy? Let me see here. Was I still living with my mom when I bought that beat machine? I know when I bought the DVD duplicator, I was living in Cedar Riverside in D building. But I bought that MPC. Matter of fact, I think I had the MPC. Damn, man. It was around the time when I got my own apartment or whatever. And there was one time that I got mad at my homie because he broke a knob. I let him have it. Because I wasn't really, I wasn't using the MPC at the level that I would have wanted. So I gave it to Titan. You know what I'm saying? I just let him have it. He might have had his shit for like a year or two. And I go over there and I watch him make beats, and I might make a little beat here and there. But I'm not really making the beats that much because his production skills are superior to mine. So I'm just kind of just sitting there just watching the shit. And then eventually I kind of stopped. I kind of came away from the beat thing and I got more into the writing. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to make beats, but I was better at writing. You see what I'm saying? So like, no, this beat here, man, this nigga chopped up I think this was when he started using Fruity Loops. I can't remember. Then this right here, this was like a techno. This was like a techno beat. I'm gonna put this in here. This was like a weird beat, and he named the beat Daffy Duck, not Daffy Duck, but Daffy Duck. You know what I'm saying? So it was. I always liked this beat, and I was like, man, this beat should have had like a video or something like that. So I'm gonna put that behind my thing. Then this beat right here, I found this beat. This was like he was doing this experimenting with like rock and stuff like that. Let me turn the gain up a little bit. So, but this is my shit right here. We should have did something with this new. No, I don't think nobody did it. It's called the Joker. That's what this beat was called. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back. This beat was called the Joker, and it was slapping. I could kind of see somebody like Boosie Badass or Webby or one of them on it. And this beat was probably like, I think this beat's like 15 years old. You know what I'm saying? But this is the kind of stuff we was making around that time. You hear that? I think this was Fruity Loops. Yeah, that you should make that again. Then this beat right here. This beat was, I think it was Fruity Loops. I don't think it was MPC, because he stopped using MPC after a while. I eventually took it back and I sold it to somebody, but I should have kept it. You could do more with Fruity Loops because it didn't have the swing of the MPC, but you know what I'm saying? We're supposed to get back into the story time. So there's not a whole lot, like the landmarks that I'm trying to make on Richfield. I spent a lot of time, like when we opened the Mini High One-Stop Shop, I used to drop my homie off at the crib and stuff, because at that time I was driving. You know what I'm saying? So I had like a car. If I didn't have like multiple cars, and if I didn't have a car right away, I wasn't without a car for no more than a week. You know what I'm saying? At that point in my life, you know, and it was because I had that fear that I wasn't gonna be able to make no money. So that's why I kept a car. You know what I'm saying? I think I talked about that before. So did I have that story time where I talked about Job Corps not accepting me? I think I did. Hold on, y'all. Let me just take a look at that. So if you guys haven't seen that, oh yeah, we did cover that. That the Little Nightmares development team, but that was real janky. That was a real janky microphone. I feel kind of embarrassed, you know what I'm saying, because I was just trying to just get through things. But that was a real janky review. I know you guys had to bear through it, like, damn, man, he's using this janky ass USB mic. But I got to talk. I did a story time with Nordic Bob. I found this book at my grandma's house. I think it was my mom's old book called Black American History. So I posted that. If y'all haven't checked out the Sunken Place story time, that's 32 minutes. That was actually on that was on my Apple Mac. I just did the Digital Journal 35. The Rodecaster Pro update, the quality ain't that great, but y'all could bear with it. It's just like telephone quality. I did do the Job Corps one. I actually did do that one. So for y'all that haven't checked out the story time, the food stamp story time, and all the Ed Pearsons, I think y'all will enjoy that a lot too. So I think I'm gonna try to do maybe one more story time thing tonight. I'm not really sure what I want to make it, but this would be the 66 in Nicollet, or you could say the 59th in Nicollet, and then you had some of the old music. That was just out of the spur of the moment. I decided to go into my old Yahoo account, you know, and the Yahoo account, man, I'm gonna just tell y'all, man, the Yahoo account used to be like a little, it'd be like a side piece email. I'm gonna be honest, it was like, you know, prior to you know what I'm saying, prior to early 2010 and stuff like that. You know, I'd have the Yahoo email, and then, you know, eventually I started getting the Gmail, but I kept my Yahoo for a while. And the reason why I kept it is because that's where I had a lot of recruiters that would hit me up. And that was the email where I was helping people get jobs. So I was kind of helping my homies start finding jobs around, I don't know, was it 2012 maybe? Really, I say 2013 when I started working at Travelers Insurance, and I had a good resume. I start kind of leaning towards that. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some of these old beats into the edit, and then I might do one more story time. So I appreciate y'all listening. Um, I had a video that I wanted to put that Stack Doe did for me, but I'm gonna wait, because what I'm working on and the secret that I'm holding is something that has never been done before. So I think I you know, I'll reveal it. I'll reveal it in a couple months and stuff like that. But it'll be well worth the wait. Well worth it. All right, y'all.